There's a lot of familiar
Yeah.
faces already. Hey, everybody, welcome. Doreen's
Whoa.
here. It's been a while. Hi, Arliss. Hi, Karita.
Hi, friends.
Shalini is
Karita, Nicole, there we go.
back. Hi,
All right.
Nicole.
Kalisha's about to jump on. This is exciting. Look at y'all coming out here for a Friday afternoon. It just won't stop. It's like I love the little ding ding, ding ding. Mary, Patricia.
Oh, I know it's stressful when you're letting people in.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Kalisha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it. Kalisha, Linda, who else? Kibi.
Yeah.
Hi, Patricia. Hi, Mary.
Sup, Karita?
Who else?
Look at you, the fancy chair. The gift.
Hi, Alice.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, guys.
Kalisha, good to see you.
Justin.
Yes. Man, we are rocking and rolling. We're gonna get jumping off in a couple of minutes are underwater. Oh no, don't be under the water. Let's get you above ground. No, it's all right. If you leave the camera off, that's fine. Totally understand.
Donna, welcome.
Hello. How's
I know.
everybody?
Good. Nice to have you.
And I just had to tease you, Arliss. I'm sorry. I'm always looking at the words. I'm a word nerd.
Aaron. Oh, look at Gwen has the little, she's changed her
Oh,
picture.
she's fancy now. Look at her.
Okay, I see it.
All right, Anna's coming on. Oh, here we go. We got the king.
I see Gwen.
Oh yes, Neil. Captain Neil's in the building.
Anna's here.
Tara. Yeah.
Where's Tara?
Yeah, she's just
Oh,
jumping in right
hey.
now.
I was like, okay. I'm waiting to see faces. Hi,
See
Gwen.
a lot of regular faces. Anybody here for the first time or any new face? Anybody we haven't seen yet? And if you will, why don't you throw where you're coming from in the chat? So
Oh, look, Neil is
really
back.
simple. Raleigh
Look.
Hi,
NC in the building.
Professional.
Hey, Tara.
I'm gonna give it like one more minute. We're gonna officially jump off. Canada in the house, Rhode Island, Maryland, Asheville. All right, I see you, Maryland. Canada, DC, Chi-Town, yeah. I'm gonna be in Chicago next month. New Jersey. Oh, okay, Gwen, we get it. You're excited. Virginia. All right, we get it. Wow. Go Virginia. Louisianers. All right. So, welcome. Great afternoon, everybody. We are here for this wonderful experience, Profits and Impact. And I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you are here to join us. You carved out time from your wonderful afternoons, your business, your practices to be here with us because we're here to serve you. We're here to support you and here to help you grow as well. So, some quick housekeeping. If you're able to come on camera, we would love to see you. If you're not, we totally understand. It's going to be fun to interact. So hopefully you're not on the road, you're not driving anywhere because we're going to be doing some breakout rooms in this session. So do your best to be as present as possible. And if you have a question, I'm going to ask you to follow this format. So I'm going to model it real quick. So in all caps, question, and then whatever that question is. So I'm just putting blah blah blah, right? If I can spell blah 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 correctly. So all caps question, so we can see it. We can see that you're asking a question and then write out your question. You don't have to fully leave your question in all caps because we don't want you screaming at us like, what did she say? Like, question, and then whatever it is. Why are you so awesome? We don't have enough time in the day for that. We don't. But we're going to jump it off here with our guest speaker, our host for this call. So Linda, think of it like listen, Linda, Linda, like Rima. Linda González is a bilingual small business strategist, coach, and author with a focus on liberatory practices, and multicultural wisdom. Her purpose is to inspire BIPOCs on a creative journey of love and healing for this and future generations. Linda received her MSW from the University of Southern California. Sorry, I'm just going to start with someone coming in. She has an MFA in creative writing from Goddard College and a BA from Stanford University. She's born and raised in Los Angeles, LA, big city of dreams, by parents from Mexico and Colombia. She has called the Bay Area home for 25 plus years and is still raising and being raised by her millennial twins. Her personal interests include playing and watching tennis, jigsaw puzzles, kayaking, yoga, and dancing. So, all that said and done, Linda, I turn it over to you. We're ready to listen to you. So, ears up, pens and pencils ready. Get ready for this masterclass.
Woo! I kind of hate the masterclass thing. Sorry, I am into words too, Alex. So let's just. I'm generally a facilitator and a trainer, so I am going to, even though I will be speaking and presenting, I want to hear your questions, and we will have a couple of 5-minute breakout sessions in pairs, because I'm really a big believer that we're all learning and growing and doing this together. I want to say, I'm okay with the off-camera thing. I know a lot of people are on Zoom a lot, and for whatever reason, I'm all good with you taking good care of yourself through the whole time. I will stay till 15 past the hour. I know some people will only have an hour, and so I'll make sure I get to where I need to get to by then, but I'm going to stay another 15 hours for some more engagement with all of you. I want us to have a sense of abundance and to remember that this is being recorded and that I will send you a PDF of a book, ebook that has what I'm talking about and with more information. So really just relax in this moment and listen to what you need to hear in this very moment. And let's see what else I want to say. I think that's it to start. I am going to start actually by ringing a bell 3 times, and I want us just to get grounded and present in this moment. So listen to the bell. You want to close your eyes, that's great. And then just take some deep breath in, paying attention to making sure the out breath is slightly longer than the in breath. I imagine many of you know that is what calms I think it's the parasympathetic something in your brain, and it helps you to relax. Yes, I see Erin nodding her head. Just 3 bells to just ground us in this moment with our breath. All right, so let's begin this journey together. So let me share my screen. All right, here we go. All right, screen, yay. All right. The only thing I miss about this is I can't see you, but that's all right. I know you're there, and you'll have the chat, and you can raise your hand. Alex, and I don't know who's helped me out with that. I don't mind if there's a question or anything anytime, so that I want this to be as useful as possible for all of you. All right, so the title is Profit and Impact, How to Grow Your Business with Purpose. And just to say, I've been coaching for over 25 years. And this information has come to me over the last year or so, and it was so different from so much of what I had heard and listened to, and I found that it was so much more useful than the different people I'd worked with over the years around the idea of how to grow my business with purpose, how to be comfortable and understand the power of profits to create impact. I was able to be in the last session for a little bit, and I thought a lot of what was shared in that session will resonate with many of you today. So I really love that there's this continuation and the integration and interconnectedness around the different topics. So let's go ahead and get started. So today's process, generally I'm going to present several strategies outlined in my book. So I will not do everything. I'd rather go, that you'll still get more than what I'm giving you today in the book. And I'm going to share some examples to demonstrate the value to grow business with purpose. And then I'm going to give you some opportunities to try on the strategy so you can understand the impact, which will be some of the pair shares. And also just generally, I'll just in general at times ask for some feedback or questions. So that's our process. And I need to make sure my phone is here so I am tracking my time. All right. So this is a very complicated frame, but it's really about one of the things that I don't know about the rest of you, but when I began to be a coach, I did it because I was so excited about my service, right, to people. And I never understood, like I was now becoming a business owner, like that part I missed that. And I did not understand how much it took to understand it. So this is just to say there's a lot that when you want to be a coach, you're not really, I want to be a small business owner and I want to think about, the foundations of a business and how to generate leads and how to convert them and how to have more transactions with the leads that I have, right? And all of these different areas. And yet, this is all of what we are also having to understand and learn. When I looked for help, one of the things that I found, and you can let me know if this is what you've seen, is that most of the focus has been on the leads. Lead generation seems to be where people really focus on, and that most marketing focuses on just this one little sliver, which we call digital marketing, social media, and your branding and all of that kind of thing. And so the tendency, and I know it was mine for a long time, was to focus on that. And I never really accepted the fact or kept track of the fact that that really wasn't working that well. And I ought to try something different. So what I'm going to be looking at today is, what if you try something different? Like, what if advertising and marketing is not the end all be all of this journey of being a small business owner as a coach? So if that's not it, then what is it? How many of you, and I can't really see, how many of you have heard of the 80-20 rule? So, okay, I see some hands going up. All right, so for those of you who've heard of it, and for those of you who haven't, I'm going to give you my definition, and we'll talk about what that might look like as you are to grow your business and your impact. It basically means that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of what you do every day, which in itself seems very simple. And the question is, okay, how do I know what that 20% is, right? And how do I know what to do with it? And so that's what I want to talk about today. My hope is that you'll have a sense of what that 20% is, and then after you look at the book, at the PDF book, that you'll have even a better understanding of how to do that. And the most important thing I want you to take away is that 20% is not done with more marketing and advertising, which I hope is a bit of a relief. Because as I said, one of the things that I've realized is that is the golden, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the golden cow. There's some, who knows that idiom? Anyways, that golden thing, that is not really useful in the end. All right, so let's take about, if this isn't it, then what is it? So I call this the 5-step profit and impact formula. And I'm not watching the chat, Alex. So if there's a question or anything, please just turn on your camera and interrupt me. Which I'm not going to consider an interruption. It's just part of making sure I am being as useful as possible. So what is that 20%, right? Let's look at that. Now we know we're usually comfortable and understand that part of the 20% is how am I generating leads? That one we get. And the next thing you have to be looking at is what am I doing to convert those leads? When I have clients, how do I get more transactions? And as a coach, that can be a couple of different things. That can be that if you're offering a package, which we remembered from the last session is no one-offs, right? If you're offering something at a longer term, how do clients continue to say when a package or is done, I want to sign up for another package, or I want to sign up for another package. The other thing that transactions can be as a coach is the idea of offering other services or other products. The fourth one is how do I have a higher average dollar per sale? And I know that the last person who presented went deeply into that. How do you value? How do you do all that? So I'm not going to say much more about it. And if you didn't see it, then I think there's a way for you to see it. So how do we really trust and deeply understand the value of what we serve, of what we do, and we believe it, and we're able to talk about that with other people. And finally, higher profits. And I know this is always a bit of a challenge, but the profits is after you've paid all your bills, what is left, right? And so that profit allows you to do many things. It allows you perhaps to think about what other service or product can I develop, right? So that I can have more transactions. It can be, how do I rest and rejuvenate myself? Because it's what we do is deeply important and also takes something out of us, right? It's like high level work that we're doing with people. How do we take care of ourselves? It could be, how do we take care of our family and our community? Because we are generally very caring people and we are connected to our families and our communities, and it is not just about what we're doing, it's about what the joy and the importance of our communities. So higher profits is not what Elon Musk is thinking about. It is a very different thing for us, and we have to have profit to be able to be generous and to give. The most important thing about this is that 20% cannot all be in the leads. It has to be spread out on these 5 different areas. There has to be a plan that you have to be putting time and energy in thinking about and having goals and a process for all of these areas. Because when you can do this, it becomes a predictable pathway to increase your purpose and transformational impact. Now, how many of you, and I'm not going to be able to see, but go ahead and do it. How many of you feel like you spend time consistently on more leads? You can do the little hand thing or just raise your hand. How about conversions? How many of you spend some dedicated time and understand what it takes to convert the leads? Okay, how about transactions? How many of you feel like spends concerted time on thinking about how do I keep this client beyond the, consistently, how much do I have other services? Do I have other products that I offer? How many of you are thinking about other services? Yeah, okay. How about your higher average dollar per sale? How many are you thinking about and think, when is it that I need to raise my fees? When is it that I am making sure that I'm earning what I need to be earning? How about profits? How many of you know what you would do with your profits? Have a plan for what you're going to be doing with your profits? All right, so great. So that's your own self-assessment. Where is it that I need to be focused? Which of these am I maybe perhaps spending too much time, and where is it that I want to be thinking about spending more time? And I'm going to show you why that matters. All right, this is a profit growth calculator, and this is to talk about the power of when you spend time on all these areas. It's really about small incremental improvements that compound on each other. All of us have heard about the idea of compound growth in different areas. This is what it looks like for you as a coach in what you're doing. So the key to the importance of spending time in all of those areas consistently is that it will produce significantly greater overall gains. And I'm just going to look at this in the theme of 10, just in 10%. So let's just I'm going to keep simple numbers just because it's easier to see how this works. So if a baseline is 1,000 leads and you convert 25%, that gives you 250 leads. Yeah? All right. If you're getting 10 transactions per customer and your price is $100, then that creates $250,000 of revenue. If your profits, in other words, after you have paid for everything, is 25%, then that gives you this much profit. So that's just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So let's look at what 10% does. Just 10%. So that means 1,100, slightly higher conversion rate, right? Because you're not just working on more leads, you're working on how do I convert those leads. Then that goes up to 303. If it's just one more transaction per client, slightly higher price, look at the difference. And this is about the compounding power of paying attention to all these areas. Slightly higher gross profit, see the difference? It's almost double. So I could show you what 50% looks like, but I'm not going to. The key is I want to help you to understand why working on all 5 areas will give you far more value than if you just focus on only 1 or 2 of the areas. All right, so I'm just gonna blah, 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 blah. Okay, and that's without spending more money. So if you're not spending more money on marketing or just even time on it, what are you spending time on instead? And that is entering the conversation taking place in the head of your prospects and addressing the number one question on their mind. So what does that mean to enter the conversation? Do you know and can you tell me the problem that your clients, prospective clients have that they don't want? And can you tell me the solution they want that they don't have? More importantly, that's tied to the problem. Because we don't like to be sold, but we love to buy. And when we buy, and this is where you can even look at your own experience as a potential buyer, you can think about what made you decide to purchase something. It had to do with a problem that you had that you didn't want, and somebody who gave you a solution that was tied to that problem. So I'm going to just take a minute now and see, are there any questions about, if I'm saying to you, instead of paying more attention to advertising and marketing, first go inside and ask yourself, do you think about this and can you answer these questions? Any comments?
And feel free to unmute yourself or raise your digital hand if you have a question.
All right, let's go on then. What do we do with this? How can you implement this? I'm going to talk about now the conversion equation, and then I'm going to put you in pairs to try to do a little bit of work on it to make sure that you understand it, and if not, you can ask me some questions. So what you do when you understand the problem and the solution, this is what I want you to be thinking about when you are putting out who you are and what you offer into the world. The first one is called interrupt. So that's a headline that states the problem your prospect has and doesn't want. So obviously to do this, you have to know and spend time thinking about what are the problems that my prospects have, what my potential coaching, what is it that their problem has that they have that they don't want. then you have to engage in it, and you engage with a subheadline that states a solution they want but don't have. And if you look at most websites, you'll see that most of them start with engage. They'll tell you all their services, all their, they go right into solution. They don't start with grabbing people with the problem. But our clients are very much into their problems. And when they can read and see that you get that, that is where you begin to be able then not only to have more leads, but also more conversions, which is why it's called the conversion equation. The third piece of this is to information that you provide that presents evidence that you and your product or service are the best choice amid competition, because any business is competitive. There are other choices that people have. So how is it that you can present that information? And finally, there has to be some kind of an offer that's so compelling that your prospect can't turn it down. And let's talk about what that is and isn't. And why is this important? Because you and I know that we are all full of advertising saturation. I mean, I don't know about you. If I go on social media, I can see they're watching me and all these ads are popping up on, right? I mean, I'm getting emails. I'm like constantly being sold. And as a person, it's overwhelming at times. And the data shows that it takes 20 to more than 100 touch points before a prospect makes their buying decision. Anybody who had an idea that that's how much it takes? Why do we want the conversion equation? Because it reduces the touch points to somewhere between 5 to 12 points to engage someone on the buyer's journey. And we're small businesses. We're mostly solopreneurs. We don't want to have to do 20. We're not Amazon or Google or all those places that, 20 to 100 touch points, piece of cake. They can do that in an hour, right? But we're not that person. We have to find a way to make each of our touch points matter. So that's what the power of the conversion equation for us as people who have really small businesses. And the good news is that most businesses, most coaches do not follow up. So if you as a coach have a way to follow up, that is going to give you the advantage over many other coaches. So let's look at how you could implement that. All right. This is a little dog that spends time with me and has saved my life. But besides that, she has a very important question, which is, what is the problem your prospective prospects have? So I want you to engage in this a little bit to see what you understand and don't understand, and I can answer some questions. So Alex is going to put us into pairs. If there's an odd number, then I will pair with someone, and you don't need to be on camera. It's 5 minutes. So I would like you to brainstorm with your partner only 1 to 2 problems that your prospective clients have. What is the problem they have that they don't want? And then if you have time, try to play with the idea of an interrupt. What is it? How do you ask a question that is framed with their problem? And you can do whatever you want with the time. It's just a time to converse with somebody. It's a time to just, for people who need more time to process things, for people who like to talk and work it out, right? So whatever way that works best for you, I want you to use this 5 minutes. And Alex, can you put a timer on or tell people when they have a minute left?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on the clock. So right now we're about to jump in at 12:29. So figure 12:34, 12:35, the latest, we'll come back into the main room. So I'm setting up, looks like 13 breakout rooms. Hopefully my math is all right, and we'll see you all in a few minutes. So
And
let's
Alex,
play.
or I could do it. I'm going to put the question in the chat.
Yeah, I just do it in the chat, but
Okay.
yeah, brainstorm 1 to 2 problems for your prospects and create 1 interruption headline. So that's the game, y'all. Let's play. And boom, open up the rooms.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, so it looks like I'm going into a room, Alex. Yes?
I'm trying to find you right now on this. Like, where are you? Oh yes, you're in room 8. So you can move there.
Hey, so let's hear some problems.
So many problems.
So many problems, but okay, so it was great talking to Nicole. So one of them is there are so many problems, but you have to drill down to find two things. One is what are the problems you want to work with? And two, that you have the bandwidth and the skills and the joy to work with, right? So that's how you begin to get more specific about those problems. So let's hear some, you can, okay, Reem, I see you said something. Great. So can you give me some problems or what was helpful?
That's me volunteering myself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's
Yes. So Patricia, right? Just to make sure. So we were talking about two different things. Do you want to share what yours was that we did?
Yeah, I can do. So initially I came up with the idea of somebody, thinking about moving up in a company from one position to another and not being sure of whether that's a good move for them. So the question was, are you curious about exploring your full potential within your company?
Okay, so let me push back a little on that. So what is the problem they have? That's a lovely coachish question, right? But we're really trying to grab people's pain points. If I'm curious, why am I curious? What is making me curious, Patricia? What's happening in my current position that is my problem?
I'm not being satisfied, fulfilled in that position anymore.
There you go. So not
Okay.
feeling the satisfaction that you want from your current position. Do you see that? It's got to be a problem. It's got to be a pain point. It's got to be
okay, I get
it's
that.
got to be that impetus for why you see what I'm saying? So that the other thing, then you might, when in terms of the solution, right? The next one is the interrupt and engage. Then you might want to go into the right. You see, but we got to go to the people. What is it that is? And also, is that what you really want to work on? Remember that there are a million reasons people come to coaching. What are the particular problems that you have heart and soul and passion to work with? So it's a really great, not only is it really important for to engage clients, but it's a really important question for you. Because Nicole and I talked about that, like, okay, burned out and stressed. Well, there's a million reasons people are burned out and stressed. What are the burned out and stressed things that you are really good at and you want to work with? And then you make it very particular. And that's why you begin to it's a different way of looking at your branding. So, okay, great. All right. So one more before we go on. Anybody else want to share a problem?
I'll share.
Okay, go for it.
White leaders waking up at 3 a.m. With anxiety about what they said or didn't say at the DEI meeting yesterday.
Okay, so how would you frame that as a problem, like a interrupt?
Is your anxiety and self-criticism waking you up in the middle of the night?
Boom. All right, you got it. All right, so love that. Again, I'm just like, we're planting the seeds, giving you some ideas. And remember, there'll be the book. There'll be all kinds of ways for you to dig deeper. You've got this great group of folks. So I'm gonna deepen this a little bit more. All right, so we did that. Let me move myself up. Okay, so the important reason, the other thing I want to really talk about, and I mentioned it, is the buyer's journey, because there is a predictable internal and information gathering stage on the path to purpose. And you can think about this form your own process, become aware of this from yourself, and that will help you to understand that this is what your prospective coaching clients are doing. So I want to start from the very bottom, which is buyers gather information over time. So studies in hundreds of industries confirm only 1 to 3% of buyers are in the market to buy at any moment. So you got to be paying attention to the 97 to 99% of prospective coaching clients who are not ready. The general journey is that we become aware of, we have a problem and we become aware of a product or service, right? Oh, I've heard about coaching. I've heard, someone mentioned it. It's getting more information there, right? So the question then becomes, why should I buy, right? What are the benefits of investing in coaching? And then why shouldn't I buy? What are the objections? Why shouldn't I do that? Why should I not find some other way to do it or another product? And then who, the all important who. So if you understand that this is the journey as you are communicating with prospective clients, you have to be talking about and know what are your benefits, what are the potential objections that people have, why won't they say yes, and why are you the person? Remember that the third piece around education, showing people why you're the one out of all the coaches that they want to engage. Any questions before we look at this in action? Okay. All right. So this is your classic general website that you'll see from people, right? A name that may or may not tell really, that doesn't stand out. Like, okay, so at chiropractic and, maybe pictures, right? All the solutions. That's the classic website. What's the offer? Remember that it's got to be interrupt, engage, educate, a compelling offer. What is the offer here? Call me. Now, who's going to call? The 1 to 3%. So most websites are set up for the 1 to 3%. Most social media posts, most advertising, most everything is set up for the 1 to 3%, which is where the conversion equation becomes so powerful, because you are getting people and you're understanding that they're on a journey, and you're not presuming that people will are ready. You have to figure out, how do I engage people over time? Which brings us to the power of a unique selling proposition to engage clients on the journey. And that is, how is it that you talk about who you are and what you offer in a way that is not the same as everyone else? Because if it all looks this, if all coaching client, all marketing, everything looks the same, then how do people make a decision? What makes them make a decision? Yes, the powerful underserved market. There's so many people. There's abundance. People make a decision based on price. If you do not give them another reason, they're going to make a decision based on price. And I don't know, I'd love you to just pay attention to how you make your decisions. I know that in the end, I am going to make my decision based on value, if I look at everybody's got the same thing, then I will look at price. I was looking recently for barefoot shoes. I'm a big barefoot restorative movement person. And I was looking at boots, and I was looking for tennis shoes to play tennis in. And in the end, no one gave me a reason. Nobody gave me something unique enough that said, this is why you should spend your money on me. And so what did I do? I bought the cheapest pair. I mean, none of them are cheap ultimately, but like in the $80 to $150 barefoot shoe market, I bought the $80 one because nobody told me why I should buy the $150. They did not make their case. So notice how when you'll spend the money and when you won't, and what is it that made you decide that, right?
Hey, Linda.
Right.
Just
Yes.
to pause you real quick, we have a great question in the chat from Erin. She asked, where does trust come into play in this scenario?
Right. Well, that's the piece around education, right? And that's the piece about trust is a essential piece of the whole journey. So when you really when you ask people the question about that, that already begins to build trust. Oh, they know, they understand, they are naming my problem. A lot of people don't even know what their problem is. So when you name it and make it clear to them, that already begins to have trust. Then, and then when the solution, you are offering solutions based on what they care about most. What's their big, what is hurting their heart? That again builds trust. When you give them information that you will take, you are able to give that. You get it? And then your offer is something that they want. And we're going to look at that in a minute. So I hope is that helpful to whoever asked it?
Yeah, I think so. And thank you, Linda. Appreciate it. I mispronounced your name a second ago.
That's okay.
My bad.
Just,
My bad.
you know what, Alex, you're going to have all kinds of time to practice. So okay. So you need a unique proposition that shows people you're the person. So here's another classic website, right? It's got, again, it only talks about the 1 to 3%. That's the offer. It tells you there's a ton of great information. Now, if you're dealing with somebody who's got behavioral problems, peer pressure, bullying, do you really think they're interested in looking through tons of great information? If you look at most websites, I'm always like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. I'm never going to look at this. Like, when you have to scroll and scroll and scroll and there's 50 tabs and it's like takes you 5, right? So simplify, and really when you know what your conversion equation is, that is going to make a huge difference. Remarkable parenting. What does that really tell me about what that's happened? So there is all kinds of ways that we can apply the conversion equation to websites. All right, so let me talk about what are not unique selling propositions, and I'm going to put you in another group to try to brainstorm what are unique selling propositions, either for your coaching or for the coaching business in general, right? Okay. Reach your goals, enhance productivity, better work-life balance, improve self-confidence, in business sense, professional, highest quality, expertise, better time management, results-oriented, right? There's these buzzwords, there's these ways that everybody uses these. And so you will not stand out and people will make a decision based on something that is not the amazingness that you are. I know this is a tough one. I want to just say this is not easy to really dig deep into here. So I'm just saying, you've got time and space. You don't need to figure it out today or in the next month even, but to really invite you to go, who do you really want to work with? How do you hone your message? How do you make sure you are clear about what is unique about you and not use buzzwords or words that every other coach uses that doesn't help you really think about who you are. Question, as many of the listed uniques embedded in? Yes, 100%. 100%. So this is decolonizing this idea, because remember, just the whole idea of expertise, right? Or better time management, all of these are making the person the problem, which is classic, especially for BIPOC, right? I mean, one of the biggest things I do, if you want to talk about my clients' problems, is that they think they can overcome 500 plus years of oppression by, finding the perfect word, finding the overworking, by ignoring their needs, by all these like very self-harming behaviors, right? And so one of the biggest things I'm constantly working with my clients on is reminding them that they are not the problem. And that when they so that's a big thing for me, is like this, this dealing with the systemic oppression is one of the biggest issues I deal with. What are your thoughts? Oh, okay. So we'll look at that, Alex, in a minute. All right. So just try it on at 5 minutes. I saw this, another cue, out of orders, right? So the key here is the way we have been asked to market ourselves is out of orders. It's there. So the question here is, what is unique about your services based on prospective clients' problems? And you see, it's always about the clients. That's always about, not about elevating yourself, right? It's if you're addressing your clients' problems, that is a much more powerful way to elevate yourself, because they're hearing and listening and saying, wow, this person really gets me, really understands what I have to struggle with. And as BIPOC, that's just huge, right? We have such a much more, we have unique propositions, and we have to think about them a little more deeply. All right, 5 minutes. So brainstorm 1 to 2 unique selling propositions of your business. And if that feels like a struggle, you can work on the coaching business. And
All right, so I'm gonna open up the same room, so we'll come back here about 12:55, 12:56. So let's go.
All right, and I'm trying to write. Oh, thank you, Alex.
Yeah, I'll post it again in the broadcast section as well.
Awesome. I'm going to wait here and make sure that there's only one person. That last time I went, and there was actually 2 people, but I think.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
they ended up not. They ended up. Here we go. So okay, how about if what's room 8? Because maybe I'll just stay here with you.
hey,
Were you
why
going to
not?
go into a room, Alex?
Yeah, I was just kind of floating between rooms just to make sure everybody was like good. I wound up staying in one room, but I'm gonna make sure I float a little bit.
Do you want to do
This
that,
time.
or I can work with this? I can work with you. It's up to you.
Yeah, we can work together. That's fine. I'm game
All right,
for
I'm not
that.
joining. Awesome. All right. So
Yeah.
Alex, 1 to 2 unique selling propositions, either of your particular business or of the coaching industry.
Gosh, it's a good question. I'm thinking. See, this is like crazy on the spot right now. Here I am thinking. I would say for coaching industry, and I do a lot of work with coaches too, is one, not stressing out about where to find clients.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
That's okay.
Brainstorm unique selling propositions. Okay. So how do you frame that?
How to find I don't want to say high paying, but how to find clients. Maybe it's as simple as that. But maybe I'm sure there's probably
Okay.
layer
And
deeper.
what kind of clients?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what most people are looking for, like how to find high paying or high fee clients. Yeah, I don't use the word the dream clients, because that's kind of
Or your
over.
preferred, you could say preferred clients, right? Like I could say small businesses of color hire me to increase their profits so that they can have have more impact in their life and in the world, right?
Yeah.
So why do they want the high paying clients? Go a little deeper.
Yeah, they want the high paying clients so that they aren't worried about money, that they're able to have a lifestyle where they are coaching, on a regular basis. They have a full roster of clients. They're not searching and scrounging around to find the next one, and it's more consistent income. They're getting paid well for the work that they do, and it's raising up their professional self-esteem.
Okay. All right. So really your unique proposition is creating consistent income for, work, for their work. And we can still, I want you to keep playing with that, but
Right.
I think finding high fee clients is not going to grab a lot of people are not there yet, so to speak. But
Yeah.
the reason you want the high fee clients, that's what I want you to think about. Why do you want the high fee clients? Oh, because so that you're not, and that's sort of what I talked about, so that you have predictable income.
Yeah.
That allows you to, what? What is it going to allow them to do?
It's going to allow them to enjoy enjoy their lives, right? To get to
Thank you. And that's, see, do you see how you got to really dig into the real deep why for people?
Yeah, it's true.
Like that's why, right? So I'm like, small businesses of color hire me to double their profits so that they can have more impact in their communities and and create generational wealth.
Mm.
You see, so that I want, that's where I want you to get to, because that is your unique selling proposition. And you have to be able to frame it in a way that makes you stand out from the other clients that do that. Because let me tell you, I get LinkedIn messages all the time from marketers who tell me, I will get you high paying clients. And I'm like, that's not going to touch me. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what motivates me.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
help
not
you
like
set
I
up like
don't want
100
them.
appointments. We'll get you 10 to 20, 30 new
Exactly.
appointments a month. It's like,
Right?
that's
So you
great.
don't want to be that, Alex. You want to
Yeah.
frame it in a different way, because you also have preferred clients, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's always going back to your clients. Well, who are the clients you want? What's going to motivate them? And how do you frame it in a unique way that it's going to touch those people that you really want to work with and whose lives you want to help change?
Yeah, that's exciting to
Isn't
just
that
think about like
exciting?
this kind of like brainstorming about that and slowing down within myself, like to go deeper into that. Like,
Yes,
all right, what's really
that's right.
going on inside their minds? Like what do they really want to experience?
And that's the more that we are really thinking from the client's perspective and their problems more than anything, then that's where you begin to find your unique selling proposition. So I'm out of control here. Okay,
Yeah.
9:57. Crap. Okay.
We're good. We're good.
I got a PDF. No worries. I'm going to wrap it up now for people who need to go. And then anyone who can stay a little longer, I'll go over a couple more things. Okay. So let's hear one or two takeaways, and then let's close this part of the session, and then we'll have the bonus time.
Well, I'll give my takeaway just based on our conversation, Linda, is everything's in the context is always in the client's world, right? It doesn't. What we have to offer is valuable. It's important. It's of great service, but it's always in their world. So, what are their words? What are their experiences? What's the psychology behind what they're looking for? And then we just make it easy. Give them what they are asking for. It doesn't have to be that complicated.
Great. How about one more? You can also chat if you like chatting.
I was going to say, I can chime in on one thing. Tying in what we're talking about and learning from this session and the last one, I think the one thing that is just coming to mind is we are working too hard and giving away too much for free. Let's not do that.
Yes.
If they see the value in a 15-minute call, they will sign up. We don't have to give everything away for free.
Love that. Yes. It's yes. Love that. All right. Yes. All right. Okay. So I want to honor the time for people who put aside the time and just share my take action slide with you if I can. So excited. I'm losing my mind here. Okay, here we go. Compartir pantalla. Here we go. All right. So to wrap up this section, and like I said, I've got 15 minutes. All right. So tell someone what you learned. That is one of the best ways. I think I'm supposed to press something that, you know how it is where it doesn't come up the way you're supposed to, but it all comes up in the end. Take action. All right. Tell someone what you learned. Like the best way to really deeply get information in your body is to talk. Think about, oh my God, who do I want to talk about what I learned? What do I want to share with this other amazing coach or small business of color, right? I'm going to send you, or through Reem and Alex, I'm going to send you a PDF of the book, which goes over this and many more strategies. So read the book with a process to take notes and pick one strategy a month. Do not go crazy. One a month. Take your time. Trust your process. Every strategy will open up to the other strategies. And again, pick the one, when you pick that one strategy a month, try to focus on the area that you're not focusing on, right? Remember the 5 impact areas, pick the one that is your, the one that's most, pick first the one that's easiest, because you know how we go for the hardest one first. Do not do that. Go for the one that is the lightest, easiest load. Don't go for the struggle. And then I'll send information through. Sign up for my newsletter so I will continue to receive value add communications, right? So this is just a nugget of how much there is to help support you. So I just want to be able to close the session. Oh, here, I think there's something else I want to, and to say the most important thing is to know that there's enough time, there's enough space. You've got this incredible group of support, and give yourself like a year of abundant time to dig into the strategies that are in the book and the ones we've talked about. I think you've gotten a taste of it's a really different way of looking at things, and it's not spending, and just put a stop on any advertising or marketing money that if you're spending it already, that's fine. But, give it a pause and try this all on to see how it really is able to shift what you're doing. Did I stop sharing? I did not. All right. So any final thoughts or comments for those who have to leave?
Well, if no one's going to say anything, I'm just going to say on behalf of the leadership team and anyone here, that Linda, thank you. Very grateful for you. We appreciate you. This has been absolutely fantastic, marvelous. So anyone who's got any insights, any takeaways from this, please throw in the chat. We'd love to hear from you regarding that. And Reem asked a question which sets me up for what I was going to talk about. I forgot about it at the beginning, was the direction we're heading in with the collective. So our next meeting, as far as networking, our typical thing of connecting, breakout rooms, that kind of stuff, that's happening next Friday. So yes, we're having a double month, a twofer, so to speak. So next Friday, not this Zoom channel, we'll get the details out to you, but from 12 to 1 Eastern time, we're going to network, connect, do our fun stuff. And probably within the next few days, we're going to be sending out an email with a program survey. So we're looking to really set up what we want next year to look like, project ahead, so we can incorporate more trainings, more leadership trainings for you outside of the standard networking meetings that we have. And we're going to be talking a lot more about what the membership is going to look like and all those details. So just be on the lookout for that. So we're looking for your help. We need your feedback, because this isn't about us. It's not the Reem show. It's not about Gwen and keeping all of us. It's about what's useful for you, what you can take from here and apply in your practices. So be on the lookout for that. And we're going to share a feedback form too. And if anybody wants to record and, you just fill out that quick survey like we did last month for John's call. So I think that's it. If there's anything else I missed, Reem, Gwen, jump on in. Hopefully I got it all.
I can actually drop the feedback form in the chat, and then I can email it out. But before I do that too, in case folks have to go, where's Linda? She's not on my screen. Linda, you've moved spots. Thank you so much. I was just such a pleasure of how we got connected, how you got here. I'm walking away with like a frenetic brain and energy, because I'm like, okay, what do I do now? But you did give us action steps. So I'm going to pause and go back to that, but really just so grateful for you sharing your brain and your energy with us. And I look forward to having you stay connected with us.
You 100%, just a joy and a pleasure to talk to all of you, and to, if any way that I can make your journey a little more gentle than mine has been. All right. So I think the people who need to drop off at any point, drop off. Otherwise, I will be open first if there's any general questions or anything that anybody wants to ask or share. We'll start with that, and then if there isn't, then I can present a little bit more for you to chew on, as they say. Oh, actually, could I hear some of the unique selling proposition ideas? Because I think if whatever people came up with, I imagine that they are related to what other people might have come up with. So who would like to share?
Don't make us voluntold, y'all. Someone's.
Hey, can you hear me?
That's my man. I knew Neil was gonna say something.
I'm all in, man. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. I've fully enjoyed your content, Linda. Thank you for that. So help me out here. So what I have is a value proposition. It's a little, I want to get some perspective. It's stated, the confidence to restructure and design a life which satisfies you.
That's a great general one. Then this is where, because you're right, that's like what people are looking for, right? And my intuition is a lot of people have that. Remember how we talked about what everybody else is saying? One of the things I would suggest that you do is look at a bunch of coaching websites and notice the repetitiveness or what it is that they're saying. And so you need to, Neil, then go, how do you particularly do that? Why do you do that? What is that? What would that give your client? What would it give your client, right? So I say, small businesses of color hire me to double or triple their profit so that they can increase their impact and build generational wealth for their family.
Yep.
Right? Like, why is it important? Why? Because if I just say double or triple their profits, I'm going to get to, people who just want to make money. My clients who I want to help are BIPOC, who one of the biggest issues in our country is generational wealth or lack thereof. So if I really get it, I'm like, I want generational wealth. That is what I want. A lot of BIPOC can't even think there. They can't go there, right? So that's my long-term goal for people, is to be able to change their lives and the lives of their families and their community, right? That's what, and so that's who I'm looking for. And I'm looking for people who are ready to do that. Now, but that's me and what my passion is, as someone who's done racial equity and anti-oppression work for 30 years. Like, this is right? So that's me and who I want. So when you're looking at what you want, Neil, the question is, who are you particularly looking for? And make that statement more specific that will draw your clients. Yeah, does that work?
So that's very helpful. I do have my persona laid out.
Of course you do. You should. I mean, if you don't,
very specific. Thank you
very
so much.
Specific. The more specific you can get on your persona, as Neil called it, then you literally are looking, there's millions of that person. Do not worry. There's enough work for all of us. And we have to figure out, what is our mojo? Who is that particular person that we want? And if we as a group are clear and we share that with each other, when someone comes our way that like, oh, that's not my persona, but that's Reem's, under Reem, because I'm not afraid. I know I will get my people, and Reem might shoot someone out, right? Like, it's amazing. And then we're really like doing that. So I love that. Alex, do you want to talk a little bit about our conversation? And where you started and where you ended? Would you be willing to share that?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where I started right now. I think
I'll
I
tell
started
you
off.
if you want.
Yeah, please go ahead, because
The high-paying clients.
yes. Yeah, where we were talking about, like, coaches want high-paying clients, and we drilled that down to looking as we want preferred clients that we want to work with, and that we get paid generously for our work, so that we can enjoy our lives, enjoy the success that comes with it. And that'll be refined. I'll do some homework on that. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. I want preferred clients that I enjoy working with, and I have a lifestyle that supports that. Why not? I could get my cake and eat it too. Doesn't be separate.
And then, right. So it's, you're working on two things at the same time. One is, what are your clients, your preferred clients, looking for, and how do you frame your unique selling proposition for them? And at the same time, you have to do the work of, who do I want to attract?
Yeah.
Who do I want to work with? And then you you do it, right? So I'm like, small businesses of color, right? That's who I want to work with. Small businesses of color hire me to double or triple their profits so that they can increase their income and be able to build generational wealth.
Yeah.
A lot of you, like Alex, might have the first part, but he's doing it for a different reason, right? So that they have consistent income and can enjoy a life of abundance, right? Or, can, whatever it is. So we can all have some similar characteristics, but you have to figure out, why are you particularly doing it? And that's what makes it unique. And that's where you do not sound like other coaches. And that's where your particular clients, and remember the 1 to 3%. So you got to figure out a way to engage with people. And so that you begin to have a consistent amount of clients that are coming to you. Anybody else want to share? Yeah. How do you say your name? Jusna? Justna. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this community. I just had a question that I'm happy to offer as well. Can the engagement be a question?
The engagement, you mean so in the conversion equation,
Yeah.
I guess, and then there's the engagement.
Like
Well, so give me an example. So I'll tell you.
Sure. So my business is called Held by Justna. And my engage is, when was the last time you were held?
Okay. So that would be your interrupt.
That's my interrupt. Okay. That's what I was curious about.
And I think that's a little too general. Like, first of all, I don't know what held means. Like, I mean, I know what I think held means, and you think, right? And all of us probably, if we had to give our definition of being held means, would be kind of different.
Right.
So the question for you, Justna, is that right?
That's it.
Who do you want to hold?
Yeah. You want me to answer that? I was like,
Well, because that helps you then to expand that question a little more or make it more specific.
yeah. So within the website, I answer that in like the why. So it's like the kind of what you see first is, when is the last time you were held? And then I go into, this is for those that feel disconnected from themselves, their world, their community, who want, I forget exactly the language, but essentially like a sort of a safe place to land to reimagine their worlds.
Right. And so as a potential client, that might take me too long to get there. Right. Because we tend to set up our websites and everything as if everybody's going to like go through it with the joy that we had building it, right? We can get in our joy, So when was the last time you were held? I think I would encourage you to consider saying, it's more like what you just said. When was the last time you felt connected to, like something more, a little more specific that explains what held is? And then the held, I think, needs to be the secondary, because you've just sort of explained it. And I think the held would be your solution or your education piece of your conversion equation.
Understood. Okay. Thank you.
So try that and see what happens.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions about what I've already, okay. Shilpa, how do you say that?
Shilpa, that's correct.
All right. What's
Thank
your
you so much, Linda. And I'm grateful to be part of this community today. I was playing around with a unique selling proposition and would love to get your thoughts.
Sure.
So I partner with women of color leaders to unlearn oppressive mindsets so they can access their purpose, creativity, and humanity.
Say it one more time. Everybody listen, right? Because if anybody has anything.
Thank you. I partner with women of color leaders to unlearn oppressive mindsets so that they can access their purpose, creativity, and humanity.
All right. So this is for all of you. Do not start with the word I, because what's happening?
Oh, I thought that's what we were
supposed to. The word I. No, I said, small businesses of color hire me. Right?
Ah, okay.
So start with, right? So what, if you don't do the I, what are you starting? Start with them. Always start with your client, because that's who, right?
Yep.
That's already different than most websites and most marketing. I do this, I give you this, that. You know, they're not interested in what you have to offer until you have given them evidence that they're in the equation. So how would you change it so it's not starting with I?
If I flipped it, it would be women of color leaders partner with
Boom.
me.
There you go.
To
See the
unlearn
change?
part.
See the change there?
Yeah.
Right. Because you're already like, again, how do you make it really simple that the people you want see that immediately? Don't make them work, right? Women, immediately you're telling who your clients, you know, who you're looking for. Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yes.
As a woman of color leader, I'm not sure I might know that I have an oppressive mindset, and it kind of feels like it's a deficit on me.
Great.
I want the second part, but I'm like, I don't know about that first part.
Right. That's
Yep.
right. So great feedback, you see, because then once you do these, I want you to get feedback from either your current clients or some good friends that are like the persona of your, and say, is this with it? You know, so this is you're going to be massaging this for a while, like don't, right? And so that's great to do. Yeah. So if you take out the oppressive mindsets, what do you have?
So if I take out that piece, it would be women of color leaders partner with me to access their purpose, creativity, and humanity.
How's that, Tara?
More resonant.
Right. Now, when you educate, then you might dig into that, right? Some of the things you might be looking at, right? Or that could also be a part of, so this is your unique selling proposition, remember, and then you also have your conversion equation. So some of your conversion equation questions could be that, bring in that problem, feeling stuck in an oppressive system that diminishes your light, right? Like something like that, so that it's still not about them being the problem. I think it's so important as BIPOC, because I want to say, like I said, one of the biggest things I work with my clients on is not seeing themselves as the problem. Like one of the biggest things I'm into is like, that's not you. That's the system. Of course you feel that way because it is unrelenting messaging every day of our friggin' lives. No matter how much work we've done, it's just unrelenting. Like, it's like you're in a little dingy and this massive wave of oppression is like falling on us every time. And we're like, why can't I make the boat stay upright? And I'm like, because the boat is not built for the friggin' waves. Right. And so it's like, let's figure out how to get you on shore to rest. Right. How do we build the boat? Right. Like, so everything I'm doing is not denying the wave. And it's like, where do you have agency? Is there someone who has a bigger boat that maybe the two of you get on the boat together and you row out and you get into the quiet water, right? Like, so that's that thing. Yeah. So really make sure that you are taking into context the historical and current lived experience. If you are working with BIPOC, that's there. Or maybe here we go. Tara's got something going on. Or maybe we learn to ride the whales like in the Honda. Hello, that's right. And be careful, because you don't start with the biggest wave. Okay. You start with the little waves. Like if you think surfers don't just go, I'm going to Hawaii when they have the big swells. No, they start with the little, like, 2-inch, and you build up. And that's possibly a lot of what, I know I do that with my coaching. It's like, okay, let's just take what's the first small step towards riding the waves? Yeah. What's that? Right. And then as you're building their mindset, then people are able to do more. But it doesn't mean, and I always tell somebody, it's like, I got to stop ruminating. I go, you don't have to stop ruminating. You just got to understand your rumination patterns. You got to understand where they come from, when they happen, some ways to interrupt them sooner than later. I go, I still ruminate. You know what? That's just part of oppression. So, I get caught in thinking if I just go over and over the same crap 50 million times, that somehow I'll pop out of it. And I'm like, and I have to realize, oh yeah, no, you won't. Okay, go get a cup of tea and give yourself a breath and figure out. So great. So it's 10:19 and I actually have a coaching client at 10:30. So love talking to you. I can't wait to continue to be part of this community. And thank you all so much for your engagement and your deep hearts and your powerful work. I'm just proud to be part of all of us on this journey of love and healing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Linda, for
Linda.
helping us raise up our waves, right?
Yeah.
We build our own boat. We don't need to worry about everybody else's.
Right. This is all about this. Yes. Today was really about, okay, how do you build a bigger boat? How do you figure out which waves you're going to go in, and how do you have patience and love and abundance and compassion for yourself? Because we were never given these tools.
For sure. So for everyone here, we hope to see you next week. Like I said, Friday, same bat time, same different channel, 12 p.m. Eastern. We're going to gather for our networking meeting, be on the lookout for the feedback survey for this. And we also are going to share a program survey so that we can release our mapping out what we want to do for the next year and deliver the most value for you all. So all that said and done, we're ending this call now, and we'll see you next time. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Take care. Stay blessed. Happy holidays if we don't see you.
Bye, everybody.